morning, welcome into the WTOL 11 Vault. I'm Dan Cummins. Rich and vibrant are just two of the words you might use to describe the history of Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. And WTOL 11 has served our community since 1958. Now, more than 6 decades later, we're taking a look back through our archives. And you can see behind me our WTOL 11 Vault. That is it. Our archives full of beta and 3/4-inch tapes. It houses our history through storytelling. Over the next 15 minutes, we're going to head back to a time when a rock and roll station shook up a quiet village.
What if I told you that there was about to be a brand new radio station in town?
Oh, I would be surprised, but that's nice. Because I don't think of heavy metal as being my type of music, maybe. There might be some protesting, I'm not sure.
They're already here.
They're already here.
The new Buzz 106.5, Rocks Delta.
And of the men and women who you know from Toledo and its surrounding areas, one is really someone out of this world.
Yeah, from up here, I don't see how anyone could look out from a spacecraft like this and see the part of creation that we can observe from here, some 350 miles up.
Out on runway 33, concluding a journey of 3.6 million miles and a moment in history.
Plus, we're a city of champions. From state and MAC titles to film and television awards, the people from our area often make history. It takes training to make it happen.
Jack says he's going after the title because he deserves the title.
The biggest thing I practice is self-control. Without trying to throw my techniques hard to actually hurt someone, I go more for the point with finesse and control.
Jack has been into karate for 21 years. He's very philosophical in his quest to be number one, claiming it would make him a complete person.
A martial artist has high standards of ethics and morals. Those are the things that he's interested in, not the fighting aspects. That's just a little bit of the arts.
But we start in 1987 this week. WTOL 11 photojournalists teamed up to document a day in Toledo. It was cold that January. Local DJs hosted radio programs, Tony Pacco served up lunch, and the bowling alley served as a place to gather. Here's a look back at the Emmy Award-winning project.
Cloudiness and warmer today with a high near 45.
There are 4 U.S. presidents who dropped their first names in favor of their middle names.
Okay.
I'll tell you their names. Give you
92.5 WMHE, playing more of your favorite songs. Good morning.
Hello, everyone. Several big stories developing at this hour.
Alright, 10 flight, 1096. 19 Sergeant Central. 19 Sergeant,
What a beautiful look back at our city in the 80s. Now, there's so much to be proud of here, including the talented groups that make beautiful music, like the Sandusky Notes and Bell Choir, who in 1986 had a chance to do something really spectacular. Take a look.
The Sandusky Notes and Bell Choir have hit the big time. On December 14th, the kids will perform at the annual White House Staff Christmas Party. Senators, Congress members, and President Reagan will be in the audience for the 2-hour concert.
I'm really excited about it, and I think everybody in this organization's excited, and I hope, we can perform up to our capacity and really put on a good show and everything.
Choir director William Krause sent an audition tape to the White House asking for a shot to perform. He proudly says the 32 kids from Sandusky High School were picked over thousands of other groups.
They like to have young amateur groups, high school, junior high, grade school, or church groups perform at this function. They kind of shy away from really, truly professional groups for this particular function.
The keynotes will also go international during their Washington trip. They'll cut a tape to be aired over Voice of America in 42 countries. Let's take a listen. Dick Berry, Toledo 11 News, Sandusky.
How about that? Northwest Ohio full of talent. Our crews didn't get to travel to the White House back in 1986, but we did dig through the vault at Ronald Reagan Presidential Library to bring you this.
I have a hunch I speak for everyone down here who have been listening longer than we have, just having come down here to express our thanks to these young people who have come here and are singing so beautifully and filling this house with the Christmas spirit with your carols. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
And the Sandusky Notes and Bell Choir still perform today, all part of the Sandusky High School choral department. And the group still sounds incredible. Take a listen as it visited the Board of Education just before Christmas 2024. What a great tradition. From the soothing sounds of the Bell Choir to the reverb of rock and roll. Music can be such a huge part of our lives, right? In the fall of 1994, a new sound arrived in Northwest Ohio. WBUZ, The Buzz, 106.5.
Delta, Ohio. It's a pretty small town. But the shops downtown are still busy, people quietly going about their business. It's very proud to be the home of the Apple Dumpling Festival and the '89 state wrestling champions. Nancy Nisley's been raking leaves around here for 31 years.
Delta's a nice, quiet little town. You seem like you know everybody. But a lot of new people's moved in that we don't know anymore.
What if I told you that there was about to be a brand new radio station in town?
Oh, I would be surprised, but that's nice. Because I don't think of heavy metal as being my type of music, maybe. There might be some protesting, I'm not sure.
They're already here.
They're already here.
The new Buzz 106.5 rocks Delta hard.
WBUZ licensed to Delta hit the air a week ago Friday with what they call pure rock.
I don't know. I didn't even know. Are you sure? I can't imagine Delta have. Is that true?
This station has been long overdue in Toledo, I believe.
The Buzz is planning to win back the people who've given up on Northwest Ohio radio.
So it's going to put a little edge on the music scene in Toledo, I believe.
We're going to take some chances. We're going to play stuff that you probably never thought you'd hear, on the radio.
That includes groups like the Meat Puppets and Metallica, Porno for Pyros, and 9 Inch Nails.
People are ready. There is a real thirst, a real passion for this music.
So far, word of mouth is taking care of the station's promotions, partly because they don't have any DJs. Yet.
Wonder what the weather's like? Look outside.
Well, that surprises me. I didn't know anything about it.
It's really going to be here? It's here? Oh, I didn't know.
Hang on to your speakers. Delta will never be the same.
The new Buzz 106.5.
Marshall McPeak, Toledo 11, the News Channel.
The Buzz would change ownership over the years, eventually became The Ticket before being sold most recently in 2018. It's now host to Christian talk and teaching content.
Old folks have ambitions and dreams too, like everybody else. And why don't they work for them? Why don't they go for it? Don't sit on a couch someplace. That's my attitude.
And that attitude landed Colonel John Glenn among the stars and in the history books. Glenn's story captures a spirit of courage, determination, and American ingenuity. We head back to 1998.
The motto of NASA is, failure is not an option. After a fiery, flawless liftoff into a clear Florida sky, Discovery enters orbit with America's oldest astronaut on board.
Well, I hope I never grow up to where something new like this is not really, doesn't leave me like a little kid on new experiences.
But being able to watch him, he looks like a young man. I mean, he looks great.
When you look out from up here, I don't see how anyone could look out from a spacecraft like this and see the part of creation that we can observe from here, some 350 miles up.
Discovery rolls out on runway 33, concluding a journey of 3.6 million miles and a moment in history.
That's how time is measured on Earth, in moments, in years. While in space, time has no end. That makes our moments, our time here on Earth, and what we do with it, all the more precious.
Old folks have ambitions and dreams too, like everybody else. And why don't they work for them? Why don't they go for it? Don't sit on a couch someplace. That's my attitude.
So what's next for John Glenn now that he's back here on Earth? Well, for some people, the sky's the limit. But for John Glenn, just like space, there are no limits. Just a constant journey, moving onward and upward. I'm Dick Barry. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
John Glenn, a truly national treasure. And though he didn't inspire the man featured in our final story today, there's something to be said about a strict training regimen. We want to introduce you to a man named Jack Smale, his journey to become a world champion.
Jack Smale is lifting weights, knocking around the punching bag, lifting more weights. Jack Smale wants to be the heavyweight champion of the U.S. Karate Council. Jack says he's going after the title because he deserves the title.
The biggest thing I practice is self-control. Without trying to throw my techniques hard to actually hurt someone, I go more for the point with finesse and control.
Jack has been into karate for 21 years. He's very philosophical in his quest to be number one, claiming it would make him a complete person.
A martial artist has big or high standards of ethics and morals. Those are the things that he's interested in, not the fighting aspects. That's just a little bit of the arts. But it's portrayed so big right now, everything's fighting this, everything's fighting that. No one wants to be a world champion for the things they believe in.
And he better believe in it. The title is only worth $8,000. The big match will take place next June in Toledo. Until then, Jack Smale continues a daily 6-hour rigorous workout. If victory comes in the ring this summer, his next goal is to be World Heavyweight Karate Champion. Dick Berry, Toledo 11 News.
You know, we did try to find Jack. We were unable to track him down. Thank you for joining us as we take a trip back through time in our WTOL 11 vault. We're so glad you're with us. We do want to point out something special about each of these stories we just shared. WTOL 11 photojournalist Paul Kwapik had a hand in each one of them. He's been an integral part of our broadcast family 42 years, going back to 1982. He retired at the end of 2024. Cheers to you, my friend. If you'd like to check out even more historic journalism, important stories, and just fun stuff, fun memories, head over to our WTOL 11 vault on YouTube. For now, I'm Dan Cummins.